Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Probably know the way you want to actually begin this morning here on the show by looking at that video over there in Syria, the basic school that is struggling to actually have a better education. And we've been looking at that conversation for a couple of days now, weeks. Jivenu has been going around picking up places that you probably are hearing for the very first time and what they have to go through to ensure that they get to educate themselves. It's our Crumbling Start, series, and we'll be bringing you some more on that here on the show. A very big thank you to Jivenu for putting that together. Now, this morning, we'd like to say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise Store. Phones Papa Fee Newsflash is brought to you by the kindest courtesy of Franco Trading Enterprise. And we'd like to say that if you want to buy your gadgets, there's only one place you can do so, and that's Franco Trading Enterprise. You can find us, our branches here in Ghana, and you can walk into it and grab yourself a television set. If you're looking forward to getting yourself a CCTV camera, you can also go there and buy from us. It's very simple. All you need to do is to just put it on your phone and you're good to go. You can monitor anywhere at any time, and you can see what's happening in your homes and in your offices as well. You can also buy from us an air condition, and also if you want to buy your fridge from us, is the best place that you can actually do so. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones Papa Fee, and you can call us. Our number is always on your screens. Please do not pick any number on social media to call us. Do well to call the numbers that you see on your screen, and you can talk to us. You can also download the app. It's the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store. You're good to go. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also get to look at all the gadgets that we have, the branches, and also any inquiries that you want to make. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones Papa Fee. This morning we're excited to be bringing you this very segment, of course, the kindest courtesy, Franco Trading Enterprise. Now I've got my guest seated in the studio this morning. As always, we'll go into the front page of the newspapers and look at what we have. But on our substantive issues we're looking at this morning, we'll be delving into the issue of galamsey. And yes, there's an update that Erastus has put up, and we'll be looking at that somewhere in the there's a place that he spoke about some time back when there was this people taking over those forests, and he said that the last minister actually came to say that some of the places have been, the forest reserves have been actually reclaimed, and unfortunately one of those places have been taken over again by armed men. We'll be looking at that as well. It's somewhere in Jimara Forest Reserve. We'll be looking at that conversation. And also TOR is set to introduce 24-hour economy system. We'll be looking at that as well. And then also we'll take a look at Crumbling Start. Maybe it will be, I'll start off with that. But let me go on the front page of the newspapers. I've got about 3 of them, so let me run through real quick, and then I introduce my guests. We'll move on with the issues this morning. Daily Graphic says opiates abuse destroying nation's youth. Renowned psychiatrist sounds alarm, and it's got Professor J.B. Asari captured over there on the front page. And TDC invites Yoko to probe procurement breaches. Page 13 has got a story on that as well. Ghana Bauxite Company targets 6 million tons of production this year. And GTEC warns of abuse of honorary degrees. That's also captured on the front page of Daily Graphic. At the back page, EU intervenes to address perennial water crisis in Tamale, Tamango, and the GIS falls cocoa smuggling attempt at Kwak-Jago border, and that's the Ghana Immigration Service doing the most over there. Now, away from that, Daily Gist. The Daily Gist is here, and it says Vice President to operate from Osu Castle. That's captured on the front page of the Daily Gist. And who replaces Chief Justice? Lobbying begins. And page 3 has got a story on that. And probe Kotoka cocaine flights in Team Forgio speaks on that. Minority drags Mahama to diplomatic community over cocaine scandal. And 30 armed soldiers raid Baumier's ADC's house. That's also captured by the Daily Gist. And the NDC admits Russian-Ukraine war affected economy. That's also reported by the Daily Gist this morning. Away from that, the Ghanaian publisher is here, and it says that the big story says Ghana bauxite pumps $123 million into expansion drive, targets 6 million tons of bauxite this year. And Zoom Lion refutes land guard claims and suspicious flights saga, minority petitions, diplomatic corps, and Omahine Owen register charged with stealing. That's also captured by the Ghanaian publisher this morning. Let me see the back page over there. It's got other stories, you can read about them, and you have to just grab a copy and you're good to go. That's pretty much the front page of the newspapers. This morning I've been joined by Richard Suma. He's a leading member of Movement for Change. Richard, good morning. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, good morning. Good morning to my friend and to all your cherished viewers this morning. I'm pretty fine.
Awesome. Thanks for the time this morning. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And also Gideon Tete is here. Gideon Tete is here. And his name is one of the names that I really...
Yes, Tete. Tete is my middle name. Tete is my surname.
Tete. You have the TT. So TNT.
Yeah, TNT. GTT. My colleagues call me GTT.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, GTT, yes. That's my very known name.
Oh, GTT.
My PS, yes. I hope you're fine. Good morning. I hope you're fine.
And a lawyer has joined us this morning. He's also the Regional Director for Conflict Resolution for NDC. And it's always good to have him here on the show. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the time. We played a video shortly that I wanted to... We were having a conversation about some of the deprived places that on a normal day, if you live in Accra, you'll not be able to actually get to see it, and how some students or kids are going through in terms of education. Look at this place, and I'm not sure you've ever...
Yes, I am even surprised.
Siru.
Yes, I'm really surprised. As I was telling you, once you're in Accra, you will not get to know that these places are so deprived, and they actually need help. And so, let me say kudos to your, gallant journalists who go out there to... bring these stories out. At least, governance is an all-inclusive, agenda.
Yeah.
And so once we all play our part, just as your gallant journalists are also playing their part to draw our attention, definitely the Ministry of Education will look into it and try and come to their aid. And we are grateful. We are grateful that this has come to our attention. I'm sure that definitely government will definitely attend to these issues. Yes.
All right. Richard. You don't believe government will attend to it?
You see...
the way you started with...
Well, most often, let me extend my warm greetings to Alan Chiromante this morning. And sincerely speaking, I don't believe in the fact that leadership don't know what our problems are. We have been talking about the plight of kids or children from basic school through to junior high school. We've been talking about their plight over several years, decades down the line. But you see, usually politicians only get interested, or they only pay attention when it's election year, where they really visit some of these communities to understand the plight of the people. Once elections are over, they are left to their fate. So this issue of, because there's actually a data to suggest that these are the total number of schools that we still have under trees. These are the total number of schools that are very deprived in very rural communities. So what have we been doing about it over the ages? Past governments have come and gone. It's not about an NDC issue. These two major political parties have had the opportunity to lead us over several years ago, over 30 years ago, when we actually started this, our democracy. So what have become of it? So we are only asking them, they should stop prioritizing from secondary education to tertiary education.
And look at the basic.
They should look at the basic, because when the basic is wrong, every aspect of the education is absolutely wrong. Because you see, the kids, these are their formative years. So at their formative years, they need to learn in a very ambient environment. We need to put more resources into them, because the money that we are borrowing left, right, front, center, they are the ones coming to pay. So why are we jeopardizing their future like this? So for me, I want us to look at it holistically. Recently, they did this education forum, but when you listen to the education forum and the outcome, The focus has just been on the SHS, the implementation, the challenges, and the way forward. What about from the basics? So I know Mahama has a good heart. This is his legacy mandate. He cannot solve it all in its entirety. But I'm only appealing to him that he should try and do something that would demonstrate to the entire country that he has deep love. I know John Mahama has a deep love. So love for only adults doesn't resonate with me. If you don't love kids and you claim you love adults, you are a complete liar. So we should focus on how we can demonstrate love toward the younger ones than just wasting our time on free HSS and paying free tertiary first year for students and all this. It doesn't really hold water.
But with the time frame that he has right now, putting that focus over there, you think that will be able to...
No, like I said, he will do some. He can't solve the entire country's problem. But I want him to zero in on some of these things. If he came to meet, let's say, 10,000 schools under trees, and he can probably say that after my 4 years of tenure, I've been able to eradicate it and brought it to, let's say, about just 500 schools under trees, we will know that he has achieved a lot. But I just don't want them to be over-focusing on SHS and tertiary education by leaving the kids out there. Look, from the video we watched, you realize that they say there is no eye in the team, but sometimes it takes an eye to solve a problem or to win a game. So you realize that the lady out there is saying that single-handedly she has been doing something by herself. Has the state coming to support? Maybe no. So all I'm saying is that as we have the education unit, I know we have the basic education unit, the secondary education unit, we have the tertiary education unit at the Ministry of Education. All of them should be equipped. They should be resourced enough. And we should take a radical approach to eliminating the schools under trees and create a very ambient environment. $51 million that we sank into attempting to build a cathedral. Do you know how many schools it would have built for kids? You see, our scale of preference and our priority list is just not in the right direction.
Very well. It's crazy because my fear is about these snakes and scorpions that would have to be competing with these kids in the school.
KMG, the point is that who are those that go to senior high schools? I don't know kids. Those who go to university, I don't know kids. Yeah, so we have our manifesto. We have our game plan. These issues are part of the things that we have in plans to resolve. But there's one thing we must also understand. Problems come all the time.
Yeah. And
that is why all of us as Ghanaians, when there are issues, thanks to social media and the rest, you draw the attention of the appointing authorities. So that at least, even if they have not noticed it, because you have drawn your attention, they quickly address it. And so in as much as we have a game plan, this is an issue that your gallant journalist has drawn attention. Definitely, government will not sleep on it. But let us not. I don't want us to now redirect what our game plan is, because we have in mind resolving all these issues. Every stage of education is equally important, and that's why I'm trying difficult to understand what's the definition of kids. Is it that when you are not in SS, you are a kid? Or when you are not in university.
Maybe it's reference to the basic.
No, you see,
you mentioned
basic.
These are their
all of them are equally important. You cannot ignore. You cannot see that. Okay, focus on basic and ignore the senior high and the tertiary. All of them are equally important.
Yes, but when too much importance is given to the tertiary,
I don't think that too much importance.
That's not what we're saying.
No, I don't think too much importance has been given to the tertiary. That's why I said that. Once this issue has been drawn to attention, as I said, this is why, as Ghanaians, we are always advised not to sit aloof and say that government should do their job. Because if I see something and I don't draw government's attention, right, perhaps it may not have come to our notice. So once you draw our niches, it is up for we as for Ghanaians to see the reaction when the attention is drawn to us as government. And so I don't think that focus is only on the tertiary. As you have said, definitely this issue will be addressed. And you know, Joy Prime is a very, very important platform. All of us watch Joy Prime, and the viewership is very high. And so definitely once this has been drawn to attention, I can assure you that it will be addressed.
Okay.
KMG, just a quick one. You see, I don't have any issue with what my brother is suggesting, but the point is that, you see, we have a decentralized administration system in this country, where perhaps today they are fortunate for Joy Prime or Joy to brought this to the public attention. There are numerous ones out there who perhaps
we've not been
the media will not be able to capture, because the media is even equally overwhelmed. All I'm trying to say is that every district has an education unit, and they have the data. They have the data. So we shouldn't wait until something is brought to the public domain before government to really want to do or act upon it. It should be a conscious and a deliberate policy direction that we want to have the kids, or when we talk about children, we know we have children, we have toddlers, we have preschoolers. You know, there are categorization of all of us from the day you were born until the day you die. So what I'm trying to say is that anybody who has gotten to secondary level, at least, most of them are attaining the age of 18 thereabout. They are no longer kids. They becoming what? Adults, okay, or adolescents. So when you gravitate and you move towards the university level, that's why at the tertiary level, you are virtually on your own. You can decide to go for lectures or not to go for lectures, and you don't have any problem with your lecturer. Once you are able to read and understand and write your exams and pass, so be it. Are you getting? We are under no control. But from the formative years, we try to control them so that they grow in the right direction to become responsible citizens. But when you don't grow them well, obviously they will grow and not become responsible citizens. So let us work with the data that we have that suggests that this is the problem, and let us attack it head on, than try to sit back, wait for the information to be brought to the public domain by the media before government agencies should try to act upon it. It becomes more like a knee-jerk reaction. We should try to have a deliberate attempt.
As far as we have the data.
Yes, as far as we have the data, we should have a deliberate. Like I said, JM cannot solve all the problem, but I'm only appealing to him that he should try and do his best so that posterity will remember him forever.
Very well. I'm sure that will be all for that conversation. We're going to move on to the next conversation, which has to do with galamsey and the update on galamsey. So galamsey has become a menace, and all of us would agree to the fact that we would have to do something very radical to be able to change this situation we find ourselves in as a nation. A lot of things have been done, some very radical, some were able to give some results, some are still not really working. And every single day you just wake up and the next thing is that this forest has been taken over, that forest has been taken over. And yesterday, our very own brother Erastus, who's been championing this cause of, galamsey, posted something on his page, and this is what he said. He says that this is the Jimera Forest Reserve between Bontiaso and Adobe Rura, compartment 31. Now, these armed thugs have been mining illegally for weeks. There were few excavators when we notified the authorities, but no action has been taken, and now the numbers have increased. This is one of the reserves that government says it has clawed back from illegal miners. Time is of essence. Now, he added some pictures and videos to that post he made on Facebook. And if you remember, there were about 44 of our forest reserves that the land minister said that has been actually taken over. Now, 9 of them, he said, have been completely been taken over by these men. And then a couple of weeks later, he said that his men have been able to retrieve about 7 of them. Now, Erastus' post indicates that this place he's talking about is one of the places that the minister said that has been taken over. Government has, completely taken over now. But it looks like it is not the case anymore. This is worrying. Yeah. I don't know where we're headed with this, but is it not becoming a problem for the NDC to deal with?
Well, first of all, let me say good morning to our listeners. This is not becoming a problem for the NDC to deal with. As you indicated, when we came, we have taken steps like making sure that once you are caught engaging in illegal mining, your excavators will be seized. We want to also, plans are far ahead to look at the LI in terms of the forest reserves. Government, we know that calls have come in terms of either repealing the LI or actually amending the LI, but it is on the table of government, and definitely our position as a government will come out. But whatever it is, it will be in the best interest of Ghanaians and also making sure that our forest reserve is preserved. When I saw this video, I was dumbfounded, but I believe that this is one of the things that we are doing to fight. I know that clearly government is also making sure that once you are a foreigner and you are caught also engaging in illegal mining, quickly you are deported, apart from also plans to make sure that these people, these foreigners are made to face the full rigors of law. Currently, it is immediate deportation the very moment you're a foreigner and you're engaging in illegal mining. But let me add that we are taking steps to make sure that apart from deportation, those caught in illegal mining will be made to face the full rigors of law and go to jail. That's something that we are really considering, because we believe that if we do not take we do not tackle this issue with firm hands, we will not get anywhere in terms of galamsey. And so, in conclusion, we are not struggling to fight the galamsey at all, but we want to make sure that we adopt an approach where it will not end up causing more problems than providing solutions. And so this issue that your colleague has brought, I'm sure definitely the Ministry of Defense and the Minister of Interior, when together with the other sector ministers, will make sure that this matter is tackled immediately. Because of course it is worrying all of us. It's not just
because if you're making progress and then right after making the progress, you still have to go back.
Yes.
Another step.
Yes.
I mean,
you see, GMG, the galamsey fight is more or less like a cabal. A lot of people, even a lot of youth, are into this galamsey, and they don't care the repercussions when it comes to the illegal mining. All they think about is their money, or all they think about is the money they will make from it. And so the interests are so much. But that is why when we tackle and this other point comes, we quickly have to find a holistic solution. So as we speak, despite the plans we have taken in terms of trying to look at whether to amend the LI or repeal it, seizing excavators, deporting foreigners, making sure that those who engage in illegal mining are made to face the full rigors of law and what have you, we are still trying to make sure that there are other holistic solutions that will make sure that we don't come back to this thing that your colleague has drawn attention. Is
that not the reason why I said that it's a struggle? Because you mentioned the youth right now. Yeah. These guys will do anything for that money they're getting from galamsey. These are the people who, if you like, voted for you as well, because you can't say that.
Of course.
Exactly. So taking their daily bread right now, wouldn't it be a struggle for the NDC to solve?
That is why we want to make sure that the solution we provide for the fight against galamsey does not end up affecting the youth in terms of providing unemployment. And that is why we preach the 24-hour economy, making sure that at least other jobs are provided. All the plans are underway to make sure that the youth are not highly affected in the event that we stop. We find a holistic solution to fight the galamsey fight.
By creating alternative employment for them.
Exactly so. And so, for me, the fight cannot be a one-off thing. That's one thing. You can set up all the laws you want to do, but it cannot be a one-off thing. It is a fight that we believe will take some, some time, so that at least we can resolve the fight against galamsey once and for all. But let me add that this forest reserve, once it is concluded as to whether the repeal or amendment of the LI is the best solution, let me say 50% of our problems will be solved in terms of the mining of the forest reserves. Because as we speak, the forest reserve is of great concern. I mean, mining at the forest reserve is becoming too much. And once the laws are established, it becomes easy for enforcement, because now the LI, concerning forest reserves is a bit problematic. And that is how come there are calls for repeal, Some are also calling for amendment. We also have the Minerals Act and all that. And so definitely the Attorney General will come with his legal opinion. And once these laws are passed, I can assure you that we will be able to make, massive progress. But all they see, the fight is still on. We have not lost focus. And definitely before the whistle is blown, you get to realize that the fight against galamsey will be a thing of the past.
Very well. Richard.
Yo, KMG, you see, I'm not a doom predictor. I'm not a naysayer. But let me be candid. I'm a realist. Let me be candid with you. There's no way we can win this war against galamsey. Absolutely no way. No amount of law, no amount of appeal, no amount of amendment, no amount of anything will win the fight against galamsey.
And you're making this like, what, in a couple of years or forever?
No, the approach, you see, unemployment and galamsey is intertwined. You cannot try to solve one and leave the other. If you try to solve one and leave the other, you are just moving in circles. Why am I saying so? As we speak today, bro, do we have a comprehensive data to suggest that we have 1 million of our Ghanaian youth that are actively participating in galamsey? Do we have the data? Do we have the data to suggest that 1 million or 100,000 or 50,000 of Ghanaian youth are actively involved in galamsey? I don't think so.
You will need that data.
You will need to develop a comprehensive data because the world is driven by data. You can only change society when you have data. If you don't have data, how are you going to combat galamsey? So the idea of dispatching military, confiscating equipment, deporting foreigners, doing this, it is an attempt to solve the problem. But you see, these aspects of it are the peripherals. They are not the real substance of the issue. The real substance of the issue is that we live in a society where poverty has engulfed the nation. It is about survival of the fittest. If you don't have ways and means to survive, you are doomed. So we live in a society where it has become a dog-bite-dog society because everybody is fighting and scrambling for that little bread called national assets. So now, vast majority of the youth, the last time I was here, we mentioned the age bracket of the people who are actively involved. We don't have 60, 70 years old men with that kind of energy participating in galamsey. 19, 20, 23, 40, thereabout, okay? So that suggests to me that it is the unemployment issue. The unemployment issue that is really foisting this issue of galamsey. Now, if we have a data to say that Eastern region, this place, they are being destroyed. And you have the data to suggest that about 10,000 of the youth in Eastern region are actively involved. Then you can find an alternative livelihood empowerment programs for these 10,000 people. Not only that, some of the lands that have been destroyed, some of the forests that have been destroyed, we need to do reforestation, isn't it? We need to reclaim the lands. We are here, we can't even feed ourselves. We are running to Burkina Faso for tomatoes, onion, rice, sorghum, soya. Why are you not galvanizing the youth and putting them into productive uses? If you say today that you want to provide training, vocational training as an alternative, how many of our youth are interested in going to learn skills? How many of them? Only a few of them are really interested in going to learn skills. So now, if that is the subject matter, why are we not looking for alternative means of creating sufficient employment options for the youth? When we do that, we can then now hold them and say that, look, we have created opportunity A and B and C for you. Why are you not taking advantage of it? And again, I said, the punishment that we met out to those who are actively involved in galamsey it is so like we are pampering them. Africa cannot be led with any sort of pampering. We are in a society that we need to be led with iron hands. A disciplined society is a progressive society. A society that is not disciplined, as a Ghana we find ourselves in, how do you expect us to combat galamsey?
So all these measures that have been put in place to stop
it will not amount to
punishment.
Anything. Because you see, there are some syndicates who are really involved in this gold mining, galamsey aspect of our society. It's a syndicate. There's a mafia organization happening there. And both parts of the divide are involved. Some are not even political actors, but they are what? Involved. Because they have vested interest. So all I'm trying to say is that we should stop this attitude of trying to hoodwink the public into believing that we are fighting galamsey. Since when have we waged a war against galamsey? Probably over 10 years. We have waged a war against galamsey. Is it not escalating? It is not escalating. So I don't see where the solution is going to come from by just passing some laws and all this thing. Because even here, our laws are not even, I don't know how to describe it, but our laws are not enforceable enough to deter people from what? Participating in galamsey. So until we are able to galvanize the youth and say, like, you know what? Eastern region, this is a designated mining enclave, okay? If you want to participate in galamsey, this is the designated area that you can only do galamsey. So if you are from Jenejene and galamsey is not allowed in Jenejene and it is allowed in a certain enclave because maybe some ways and means will be provided there that you can mine there without destroying the water bodies, you have no right to mine in this enclave, but to mine in this enclave, they would adhere to it. But if you are chasing them from here, they will outsmart you. Ghana, the total number of our military force is not even up to 1 million. The total number of our security agencies put together is not up to 1 million. Police, fire service, army, it is not up to 1 million. And we are talking about a population of over 30-something million. So how are you going to combat galamsey? Until we find a deliberate approach, like I said, that we are mass mobilizing all of you who are involved into galamsey. Some of them go into galamsey pit, they don't even make 50 Ghana cedis a day. But in the absence of nothing, bad is always good. So once they don't have anything to do, they will prefer to indulge in galamsey activities, at least to keep themselves busy. So until we're able to mass mobilize them and say, like, you know what, all of you actively involved in galamsey, going forward, we are putting it to the Ghana Farmers Brigade, the Ghana Builders Brigade, or we are putting into this, putting today. Your job is we are moving you to the afforestation, we are moving into state plantation, we are moving you to this, we are paying you a minimum daily income of so and so amount. That can entice them to go and participate in such things. But if you say, come and learn vocational and technical training, come and become a carpenter and mason, so that you can stop the galamsey work, how many of our youth believe that they can survive on becoming a carpenter? Or they can survive on becoming a mechanic? Or they can survive on becoming a hairdresser or a tailor or whatever? You see, let us stop lying to ourselves and face the fact that until we are able to find innovative ways of bringing the youth together by galvanizing them, mass mobilizing them, and putting them into productive use, there is no way we can succeed in this war. And now, when the chiefs are telling us that if I see gold here or we identify gold here, automatically the gold has been vested in the state, the president have the right to determine who mines there without the involvement of the community or the community leadership. What are you expecting? When most of the chiefs themselves, they are poor, excuse me to say, many chiefs don't have money. They don't have money and they need to survive. So they also are conniving with the people to be able to destroy the lands further. So I really don't see the solution coming, but we are waiting. Maybe JM has a more innovative approach to the combating of the galamsey, but therefore everybody should be brought on decks. Every hand should be brought on decks. Everybody should be brought together You shouldn't be like, oh, I, John Dramani Mahama, and my NDC party, this is what we intend to do. If you do it that way, there's no way you can win.
Okay.
The same thing Nana Akufo-Addo and his NPP government did, and they lost abysmally by not being able to win the war against what? Galamsey. I see the same approach being deployed by NDC, and until they're able to shift from that narrative, I don't think we are making any progress.
Anyway, you can join us here on the show and send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can also go there and drop your messages. We'll be reading them a couple of minutes. We'll just go and then see how many of your messages have come in, and then we'll read them here on the show. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're also streaming live on Facebook. You can also send your messages over there. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones Papa Pie News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Go get yourself some phones, get yourself some gadgets. When you talk about television, if you're talking about fridge, air condition, CCTV cameras, we've got all of them. And it's Franco Trading Enterprise that is giving you quality. So please do well and buy from us. You can call our numbers on your screens. You can also get our app on Google Play Store. Just download the app and you're good to go as well. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you're also good to go. You can get all the details that you need and all the questions you want to be asking. You can get the answers over there. Thank you. And we've been joined, we're still here with us this morning. Lawyer Kwesi Botchwey Jr. has also joined us here on the show. Lawyer,
KMJ.
how is it going?
Good morning. Everything is okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, you look good this morning.
Thank you. You don't look
like
bad
your
at all.
tie and your pocket square.
That's it. I want to be like you when I grow up.
No.
It should be the other way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, good to have you. We started off with crumbling stats. We moved away from that to the issue of galamsey. Erastus has put another troubling situation over there on Facebook yesterday, and some of the lands that we felt that had been, we've claimed them, as the minister said. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Armed men have taken over. Serious thugs have taken over that place. You think that we can win this war?
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to colleagues and everybody watching us. KMJ, I think that let me first and foremost start by commending Erastus Asare Donko. I think he's doing a very good job.
Yeah, he's been on this for only God.
Yes, he's doing, risking his life and all that. He's doing a very good job. Let me start by commending him. And you see, KMJ, the galamsey issue is a leadership problem. I heard seniors say it's a poverty problem. I don't agree, because the galamseyers are one of the richest people in this country. You go to the mining.
You need to be poor to get into it to become rich.
I don't.
Is that not the case?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree, because
you think rich men are involved.
Of course, but how much is the excavator? Excavator is worth more than 2 million cedis or so.
A 19-year-old cannot afford excavator.
But you see, if you go on social media and you see some of the videos of these galamseyers on social media, displaying money and all that, they tell you that and all those things. So I disagree that it is a poverty problem. We can have a conversation about the fact that there's an unemployment issue, but I disagree that. But you see, ultimately, galamsey is a leadership problem. Ultimately, it is a leadership problem. And so if some few months ago, we're saying that the NPP government or NPP members were involved in galamsey, and that is why the administration of President Akufo-Addo was able to fight galamsey, then we can say the same thing today. Galamsey is a leadership problem. The buck stops with the president. The ultimate responsibility to fight the galamsey problem lies with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And so if we are failing in the fight against galamsey, then it means the president is failing. KMJ.
You want to say that both leaders have failed?
President Akufo-Addo did his best.
President Mahama
Senior
is best.
mentioned that the approach President Akufo-Addo used, he failed. Granted, without admitting that President Akufo-Addo failed. That is why the good people of this country voted the New Patriotic Party out of power on 7th December 2024. And John Mahama now is in power. It is now John Mahama's responsibility, the president, to fight and stop galamsey. You see, KMJ, for me, I think that the president lacks the political will to fight galamsey. He doesn't have it. And I don't think that President John Dramani Mahama will be able to fight galamsey because he doesn't have the will. He's been in office for about 3 months now. Have you heard him speak on galamsey since he assumed office? He has never spoken on galamsey. I have said this times without number that the president has got the opportunity over 3 times to speak to the nation. The first was his swearing in. He didn't say anything about galamsey. State of the Nation's address, he didn't say anything about galamsey. Sixth March celebration, the whole country was watching President John Dramani Mahama. He didn't say anything about galamsey.
There are equally other important issues he's spoken about. He's designated people in that position.
And I'm asking you, since he assumed office, no, the ultimate responsibility lies with the president. Yes, he has ministers and CEO, but the ultimate responsibility, the NDC made us understand that the ultimate responsibility lied with President Akufo-Addo to solve galamsey. What has changed? Nothing has changed. Governance is a continuing process, is that not what they say? So the ultimate responsibility to fight galamsey lies with the president. And Erastus Asare Donkor some few weeks ago told us in one of his posts on social media that members of this government are actively involved in galamsey. They are actively involved in galamsey. And so if they are actively involved in galamsey, how does the government fight it? He told us that in Dunkwa, about some 3-4 weeks ago, the constituency chairman for Dunkwa, was in the scaffold with the military when they were about arresting some illegal miners. And so members of this government are actively involved in galamsey. They are actively involved in galamsey. Go to the Ashanti region, go to the Western North region, non-activists. Didn't we hear that the traditional council of Awowin traditional area, have even banned their member of parliament, who is an NDC member of parliament, from visiting the constituency because he's actively involved in galamsey with the party people? Didn't we hear that? Did President Mahama say anything about that? KMJ, galamsey is a leadership problem. This government is failing in the fight against. We can sit here, tickle ourselves and laugh that galamsey is not a leadership problem and that it is not the president's responsibility to fight galamsey. It is the president who has appointed the ministers. The ministers take instructions from the president. And so if the ministers are facing challenges and are unable to fight galamsey, the ultimate responsibility lies with the president. KMJ, it seems to me that, in this country, it looks as if nothing is working in this country. And sometimes I wake up every morning, I look into the skies, and I ask myself, God, does Ghana have a president?
In 3 months?
Exactly. It doesn't look like we have a president. It looks like the country is on autopilot. It looks like there is nothing working in this country. Today, you put on your TV, Joy Prime is showing how, suspected flights have brought in illicit drugs, money, engaging in money laundering. You put on your TV, you see how galamsey is destroying our water bodies.
We saw some of these issues in the last.
That is why the good people voted NPP out of power. Because John Mahama, because the NDC told us something that John Mahama is the hope. Don't you know that song? Now, John Mahama is no longer the hope. He has failed drastically.
In 3 months?
Of course.
The
Of course. They told us that he's the hope. In fact, they told us that in the first 120 days, they were going to repeal, the law allowing, I think, LI 2462. Have they repealed it? Parliament is currently on recess.
Gideon says that it's still in the process.
Oh, please. They have passed. Haven't they passed the Gold Board? Haven't they passed the Gold Board Act? Haven't they passed the Gold Board Act? Haven't they repealed e-levy? Haven't they repealed VAT on insurance, motor insurance, and all those things? If they had wanted to repeal LI 2462, they would have. They have an overwhelming majority in Parliament. They do what they wish. Sometimes even when a minority is speaking, they decide not to allow the minority to speak. They have an overwhelming majority in Parliament. And so if they have the political will, and indeed if they take the good people of this country serious, they would have repealed LI 2462. KMJ, the galamsey menace is going on. Over the weekend, I traveled to Kumasi by road. When you get to Nyinim, the entire Nyinim police station around, I don't know if you know Nyinim very well.
I came by that place just on Sunday.
So you saw what was happening there. Galamsey is ongoing, in the full glare of the public, with impunity. The galamsey going on now is happening with impunity. Where is our president? Where is John Mahama is the hope? Where is he? Please, the good people of this country want to experience the hope you promised. Or has the hope changed?
So you also agree with Richard that we can never solve this problem with galamsey?
I agree with what Richard said when he was concluding. But you see, that was the same thing when NPP were in government. That was the same thing that we were trumpeted all the time, that we need an holistic approach in fighting galamsey. The galamsey must be seen as a national issue and not a political issue. But you see, the NDC played politics with the galamsey issue. They made us understand that no, it is not a government, it is not a national issue, but it is a political issue that must be solved from the political desk of the president. And so now we all assume that galamsey is a leadership problem which must be solved by the president. And the president must admit that he is failing. And so if he needs any guidance, we can sit down, he can invite the former administration, we can sit down and have a conversation about how to fight galamsey. But as it stands now, KMG, galamsey is ongoing. Right now, if you go to some forests, the people are mining there right now.
Okay.
And so KMG,
yeah, wrap up for me.
As a land, I want to say that it is the duty of the president to protect the water bodies of this country. It is the duty of the president to ensure that galamsey is being curtailed, that galamsey is being stopped. At least the government should make some effort in fighting galamsey. For me, I haven't seen any effort from this government.
What the last minister has been.
What has he done? Setting up the Adidas disco dancers. Is that what he has done?
No, but
those people to fight galamsey. Are we serious as a nation? Where is the AI? Where is the AI? His Excellency John Mahama promised us during the campaign that he was going to use to fight galamsey. Within 120 days in office.
You are 44 for
within 120 days in office.
9 of them have been completely taken over. You redeemed about 7 of them.
You see.
That's not a good job, Dan.
I don't even.
Out of the 9, I been taken over by tax.
You see, even if illegal miners are mining in a single forest reserve, it's a problem. Even if they are mining in a single forest reserve, because these people,
the argument will be that
you see, the argument that NPP is no longer in government. NPP doesn't have any role to play in the fight against galamsey. We are not in government. For all you know, the good people of this country taught NPP a better lesson by voting against us in the general election for the party failing, to fight galamsey. Admittedly, or granted without admitting, one may say that the NPP couldn't, stop the fight against galamsey. In fact, I would be very disingenuous to say that the NPP ended galamsey. I would be very disingenuous to say that. But now, the responsibility lies with the new administration. Do you know why I am on them this morning? Because they promised us that when they come to office, when the good people of this country vote for them, John Mahama is the hope in 120 days will solve galamsey. John Mahama is the hope in 120 days will repeal LI 2462. John Mahama is the hope in 120 days will use AI, will deploy AI to stop illegal mining. Please. Now, is John Mahama becoming the hope, becoming something else like John Mahama? See, when I was coming, people were asking me, Kwesi Botchwey, now John Mahama is the hope. Is he now becoming John Mahama is the failure? People were asking me, I said, I don't know. So when I come out, ask the NDC people whether John Mahama is becoming the failure. Because they are telling me that is what it looks like, that John Mahama is becoming the failure.
Okay.
And so we need the president to set up respectively and humbly to solve the issues of illegal mining. Excavators are still coming into this country. Just about 4 days ago, I saw a video on social media, a whole Land Cruiser, a government Land Cruiser, escorting an excavator to a galamsey site somewhere in Enchi. I saw the video. I'm sure KMG, you may have come across.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, I can share with you.
Yeah,
but I saw the video, and I'm sure the good people watching us have also seen the video. And so KMG, galamsey it's a serious problem that this country is facing.
Okay.
That I think that we need a political will, we need civil society to come together, we need journalists to come together, we need the religious leaders to come together, we need everybody to come together so that we can fight galamsey holistically. But for me, I think that the first step lies with the president, and I want to call on His Excellency the President to also put his presidency on the line. He should show some commitment. He should show some commitment that he has the will and the zeal to fight, if not even putting his presidency on the line. He should show some commitment. At least President Akufo-Addo did it. He showed the commitment. He exhibited commitment. He exhibited resilience in fighting, galamsey. Mr. Mahama, President Mahama should do same.
Okay. All right. Very well. Thank you.
Jimmy, I'm interested to. So what commitment did he show? What did His Excellency, former President Akufo-Addo, show in his commitment against galamsey? You see, I want to also clear the propaganda that is being shared by my friend here. Look, and I have always preached about the policies in the first 120 days. We never mentioned issues of galamsey, but we have always said that the fight against galamsey is something that is at our heart. And that's why when we came, we have not sat down and put our hands in between our laps doing nothing. Now, KMG, we, as government, we do not believe in verbal diarrhea, where everything we will be telling the state, the country in terms of our strategies. But I can assure you that our strategy in the fight against galamsey will be very ruthless. I'm sure he was not born at that time. How was the armed robbery cases on the Tema motorway road? The way we solved that issue, where those days when you are driving on the motorway, armed robbers will come and attack you and all that. That is the same strategy we'll fight against galamsey. That strategy is not a strategy to say here. We don't engage in verbal diarrhea. But let me state it clear that we stated 10 policies that will be implemented within our first 120 days. It is not the LI, we didn't say that we'll fight galamsey in the first 120 days, but we indicated that the galamsey is something we'll fight. And that's why we are looking at the LI and making sure that we either repeal or we amend. And of course, the fight against galamsey is not just like e-levy and the rest, because that one we have to abolish it. But this one, we want to be sure that if we abolish the LI, then it means we are amending our Minerals Act. If we are not amending our Minerals Act, then it means that we are amending our LI to make sure that we protect our forest reserves. And so I don't want us to sit here and make it look like our first quarter in government has come and you say that there's no hope. You know what it means when there's no hope? When you have been given 8 years in power and you have done nothing against fight galamsey, and your regional chairman of Ashanti region is a kingpin. That's where you can say that there's no hope. In this case, that's what they see. I am sure that he will be willing to honor invitation when the powers that be call him so that he can assist us in some information that he has in terms of galamsey. I pray that he will not be like Osofo Moku, who when you call him, he will be running away. We are Reverend Intim Fojo. I just pray.
He has to do with what?
Yes, I just want him to know that he should. Yes, once he has enough information, which if we are not privy to, I will let him. I will urge him to honor invitation once he's called, so that at least we fight galamsey, because there's some information he's providing, which may he will only be privy to, as you even ask him when he asks you with some of the videos you mentioned. If he has it, he can share, so that at least we all are on the same page. But let us come to we all need to understand that the fight against galamsey didn't start today. I mean, the galamsey didn't start today, right? The NPP messed up big time and made sure, cause even most of the kingpins in terms of galamsey were in their government. And so we have come to power. Our first quarter, you have seen the things that we have done. We are not saying it may not look like we are at a speed, but we are making progress. And so a mandate of 4 years you cannot judge a government that has been given a mandate of 4 years and say that the first quarter, even though we have taken steps, it means that there's no hope. Not at all. And so I believe that it's a matter of hastening slowly, and it's a matter of making sure and seeing our progress. And you see, President Mahama need not speak before we say we are fighting galamsey. We have appointed ministers. There are people in charge of, all these things. And these people are representatives of the president. So if President Mahama has not spoken about it, does it mean that he is not fighting galamsey? But you can see, action speaks louder than words. if I'm not speaking and I'm acting, does it mean that I'm not working? That is why we are still having these discussions. And that's why, look, that's why the issues of excavating. We don't believe in burning excavators. Is excavators, is it only for mining? Do we use excavators only for mining? So that is why we have believed that it is not a matter of burning excavators, but seizing them is a better solution. And so this issue about he saw the V8 escorting an excavator, is he sure that we're going to engage in galamsey? Let's be very careful. You see, he's a lawyer for that matter. You must be very careful when it comes to issues like that. That because you saw a V8 escorting an excavator, it means that clearly they're going to engage in galamsey. You must be very, very careful, because once we ask you, tell us send us the picture, or tell us the car, or tell us the details of what you saw and where, and let's be sure. And if it's not true, you know the actions that the repercussions behind it. I believe that let's stop this propaganda. We are, of course, we are all politicians, but we are here to educate the public. Not to. This platform is a very reputable platform. It is not a place to engage in propaganda. And so let's speak, in a very discerning way and make sure that we focus on the meat of the issue. And I believe that, look, the way we have started is the way to fight this galamsey once and for all. You cannot also, and you see, as I said, we cannot discuss all our strategies in public. That will not be a solution. And
so there's more to it that the public.
And I'm telling you that the next phase of the fight against galamsey will be very ruthless. Ruthless to the extent that it will remind us of how we fought the armed robberies on the Tamawoto Way.
Some have suggested that we should shoot to kill. I mean, it's come up severally.
No, well, I will not.
Is it part of what?
You see, no. I will not come here to talk about, what exactly we do, whether shoot to kill. But I'm just trying to tell you that our next phase will be very ruthless. And I'm just trying to remind, she was not born, I'm sure, that I'm saying that, look, the way armed robbery cases came to an end on the Tamamoto Way is the same strategy we adopt in terms of the galamsey. And but you see, as I said, as a country or as a government, we don't engage in verbal diarrhea. It is not everything we will come and sit here and discuss and say that we'll do this. No. What we want the public to know, we will do. But what the public also want to know or want to see is the end to galamsey. And I can assure you that the next phase, it doesn't matter whether the person is a member of our political party or not. We will make sure that even if the person is a member of our political party is engaged in galamsey, that phase of us will be very, very ruthless. We don't care whether, and that is how galamsey will come to an end. And so it's just a matter of taking the right steps and making sure that it's just like a plane is flying. There's a way, it doesn't just jump and start flying in the air. It takes its time before it
you've got 4 years.
Of course.
Of course.
And so definitely
you're reminded by that.
Of course.
That you have 4 years.
We are reminded. And that's why we want to make sure that we take off properly. And despite the fact that you're a member of our party or not, we will make sure that when that phase is being implemented, it will be no respecter of persons.
Okay.
Yeah, just Richard, 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute on this gala. Yeah, just a minute. I want to admonish my colleagues from the NPP side that when they are really making a case about galamsey, they shouldn't take Ghanaians for granted. If you had an opportunity of 8 years to provide a remedy to something and you couldn't do and you failed on it, and you say you have been voted out and another person given the mandate to lead, therefore, you are expecting that within a period of 3 months, you should see something really happening on the ground as far as combating galamsey is concerned. Then they are being unsincere to the Ghanaian public. Why am I saying so? Even in as much as we all believe that the president, all the powers of the state is vested in you, and it is you who must also show direction, I will want to admonish the president also, or to appeal to him, that going forward in his everyday conversation, he should prioritize the fight against galamsey too, so that people will really know the steps he is taking. But like I said, I will still maintain my stand that galamsey, we cannot win the fight today, neither can we win it tomorrow. I am here. The next 4 years, we will still be talking about galamsey and how it has destroyed our water bodies. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. Let me read some messages. I'll come to you. Let me read some messages and then see what our viewers are also saying. This one says, Good morning, you meant to say. It says, good morning, sir. I don't know where he was testing from. Maybe it's afternoon over there. It says, banning galamsey is not enough, but those who pass the laws to destroy forest reserves and water bodies must be prosecuted for the genocide against the state. Again, polluting water bodies is a crime against the UN Resolution 2375, which considers water pollution an act of terrorism and a crime against humanity. Again, Akufo-Addo and his officials must not be allowed to enjoy ex gratia and benefits for breaching their oaths of office to protect the state properties. Doesn't it make sense to put your head on the line and issue licenses to party officials to destroy forest reserves, water bodies as well? This one says, good morning. Please let the NPP man know that if this is the way we, the NPP people, are going to talk on national television, then let us forget about 2028 because the government is just almost 3 months in power. And more importantly, Ghanaians are very descending people. That's from Lawrence in Konya Woropong sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning. Why is it that the NPP reps who come on Joy Prime don't speak anything serious and meaningful? The NPP spent 8 years to destroy Ghana from ECG and galamsey cartel who are looting this nation, and he's raising his voice loud against a 3-month government. He should spare our ears. Justin from Amasaman. This one says, good morning, KMG and your respected panelists. Listening to Kwesi Botchwey is laughable and shameful, just rehashing the same concept that sent them to opposition. The junk state of our economic stole in our mind. Ghanaians are highly awake. They shouldn't insult our minds. Karim Starboy in Tema sent in that. Let me move on to this one over here. And it says, good morning, KMJ. But galamsey going on currently is happening with impunity. Indeed, most journalists were not fair to NPP government pre to 2024. The Minister of Lands keep lying to the good people of Ghana. He first came out to tell us they have captured some forests from galamseyers. That was a total falsehood. The minister kept saying they would fight galamsey, but unfortunately, galamsey is rather fighting them. NDC party executives across the nation are those deeply involved in galamsey. So how is the minister going to fight galamsey? We are patiently waiting for media houses like Joy Prime to show us Google map of galamsey's site as we were being showed pre to 2024 election. Catherine Pong sent in that. Okay, let me go down this one over here, and it's from Ibrahim Bule, Lakeside Estate Community 8. It says, good morning, NPP should stop talking about galamsey. They were in government for good 8 years. They failed to fight the galamsey menace. How do they expect the new government to fight it for just 3 months? All right. Let me go to this one over here. It says, KMJ, you said you've never seen the video. A Land Cruiser executing excavator. Really? Adam from Tamale. Adam, I have not seen it. And I won't pretend that I've seen it. I have not seen it. You can share it with me.
You should share it with us. We are interested. You should share it with us. We are interested.
Okay, but I have not seen it. That's why I'm saying so. A whole minister in charge of government's communications posted pictures and videos of a plane he claimed to have come to Ghana when it has never come to Ghana, and he is still at post, wasting our 78 million Ghana cedis budget allocation. I think this NDC guy is a child in the universe. His own people used propaganda and lies, deceived the TUC, UTAG, religious leaders, etc. to go on demonstration. What comes today? Honorable Anas NK sent in that. Okay. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please tell that NPP guy on the show to relax for JDM to teach them how a destroyed country is reset and build on. Frustration is catching up the mini-micro opposition. That's stall from Lolo P sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. It says, KMJ, NDC wanted the former government to declare a state of emergency on galamsey. We haven't. They done so. They haven't done so since they came to power. The heat in the kitchen is felt when you are in it. All right. So that's your message this morning. Let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning, KMJ. Please tell the NPP guy to give us a break. You didn't use your 8 years to stop galamsey, but now you want Mahama to use 3 months to stop it. What a hypocrisy. Robert Yankson in Cape Coast sent in that. Okay. Let me go to this one. I was trying to see if the video is what we've been looking for, but it isn't. Meshach Asante Atamasaman says, I now understand why the desperate opposition NPP party people are making unnecessary and unfounded allegations in the country. They are trying so hard to divert Ghanaians' attention from the evil they did under their regime, but who doesn't know the history of NPP when it comes to dealing in drugs? Was it not under President Kufuor where cocaine suddenly turned into Kokonte? They are the only political party whose certain member of parliament has been jailed for dealing in drugs, so they should be the last political party to tag another political party with drugs. Shame on them. Meshach Asante at Amasaman in his own words. Now, let me go on this one over here. It says that that's from Dachi, watching from Jumakon. It says, good morning, KMJ, and your guest. Asare Donko is really doing a great work, but who is also helping him? I started hearing about galamsey way back in primary as causes of environmental degradation. I think all of us as a nation are to be blamed for this canker. If Mahama for just 3 months has failed to solve galamsey, then I don't know how to describe Akufo-Addo for his 8 years. Again, is it against the constitution for the CJ to be removed? If yes, why are all these noises from the other side? I know there should be checks and balances in our government, and so if the executive is checking the judiciary, it must be done in a reasonable way. Let's build the nation together. Greetings to Dr. Ato Forsen. All right. Good morning, KFG. It's quite surprising that the NDC is now attributing galamsey to unemployment. Where the NDC are aware of this and are still organized press conferences on galamsey sites. What about the propagandist, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Ablakwa, who organized press conference with polluted water? Indeed, when you play politics with galamsey, armed thugs and Erastus Asare Donko will expose you. Incompetent NDC, never again. Minaba Dodu, son of the fishmonger from the Kumfi, Nakwa sent in that. Teacher Kujo Tepa says that who has not heard the NDC's constant claim that the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war have nothing to do with our economy under the NPP? Now you are making a U-turn. Your propaganda is being exposed. Ghanaians have voted for you, so deal with the current situation without invoking the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. God will put all of you to shame. This is just the beginning. Greetings to Chairman Ordinary Kwaku Apia Koka. Okay. Good morning, everyone. NDC and galamsey are good friends. So how can they fight it? Their party executives are seriously involved in it. They are now inviting more foreigners into our forest. God should have mercy on us. Christian from Sandema sent him that one. Maybe the last one I'll do and then we'll move on. This one says, good morning, KMJ. It is rather unfortunate that people who attacked the previous government about illegal mining today have gotten an appointment and decided to remain quiet because their mouths are full. I have regretted voting for the NDC that decided deceived Ghanaians for their votes. Tell the NDC rep to go and watch Honorable Sam George video on galamsey. The least we talk about the bitterness, butterfly people, the better. Joy from Aboga. Okay, you have to add the butterfly people to this morning. Good morning, KMJ. This is Abdul Gani Mankarigo, Savannah region. Since when did NDC notice others must do it within the short term, but they now see it as a continuous process? We thought that they wanted Nanado to solve the galamsey issue with immediate effect. So why are they now saying it's a lifelong battle? God is exposing Mahama and his ministers in this country one by one. And there's more, but let me see what I can do with this. Alasan Sese from Zeno Central says, let me say good morning to everyone. In Team Fojo is not an honest person, and he's just using Parliament to run away from accountability, and he will soon be picked to prove his allegations, intelligence that he had. The NPP should now know that they have a record of being affiliated with cocaine because one, Erica Martin, a sitting MP of them, was jailed in US as cocaine dealer. As for Tokono, she must go. This is a woman who in a panel and supervise judges to deliver a judgment that our birth certificate cannot guarantee our citizenship, but our passports that our birth certificates has given birth to can rather be the one that can prove our citizenship. What kind of judiciary is that? I disagree with the Interior Minister's suggestions to deport foreigners who come to destroy our water bodies and our forest reserves, but ready to prosecute our citizens who owns these mineral resources. the decision should be reversed, or else it will be very disappointing. All right, some of the messages you've sent to us this morning. A big thank you again to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phones, Papa Fee. You need to buy your phones from there. And we're giving you 40% discount on every accessory that you buy from us. So please make sure that you're going there this morning and you're grabbing your new phone from them. You can also buy your television sets. You can get your CCTV cameras and also your refrigerators. You can also buy them from Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones, Papa Fee. Now, Toy is making some progress. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
TOR to actually introduce 24-hour economy system. And they've made some revenue of about 2.9 million in the last 3 years, which is also commendable. And I would like to take your view on that.
Before I come to TOR, let me use my time to clear.
You've got 1 minute to do that. We don't have that time.
No, it's within my time too. So I'll just use a brief moment. You see, KMJ, my colleague mentioned that their term policy, 120-day promise, that they give to Ghanaians. They didn't mention that they were going to stop or ban galamsey within that, as part of that,
Monday,
yes, I wanted to quote him verbatim. But you see, the 120-day social contract is not 10. My colleague said 10. It's not 10. Maybe he's not conversant with their own one.
Top 10 policies.
It is not 10. It is 26. If you look at number 19, it says ban illegal mining and new mining activities in forest reserves. How do you ban illegal mining activities in forest reserves? By repealing LI 2462. That is how you ban illegal mining in forest reserves. And so if you have failed to repeal LI 2462 and you tell us that you fulfilled or it is not part of your 120-day social contract, then clearly you are trying to deceive Ghanaians. And you see, KMJ, there is a worrying situation going on, and I want to address it this morning. Elements within this government, or beneficiaries or attaches of this government, have developed an attitude that anytime you criticize this government, they resort to, you'll be investigated, you'll be invited, you'll be arrested, you'll be this, you'll be that. Please, the fact that you have won an election doesn't mean this country has been sold to you. You cannot intimidate anybody with invitations and arrest and blah, blah, blah. We are talking about galamsey. You sit here to say that if he is invited, if he is called to bring evidence, who doesn't know that these issues I'm mentioning is a matter of public knowledge? Who doesn't know that galamsey is ongoing? Erastus has just said, when you were introducing the topic, you said Erastus has mentioned that galamsey is still ongoing in forest reserves. So who doesn't know? Please, let us stop the attitude of you will be invited, you will be arrested, you will be this, you will be visited. We don't live in a banana state. Let us stop those things. People and citizens have the right to speak their minds. So far as they are speaking their minds in confines and in accordance with the law, they have every right and legitimacy and liberty to do so. Let us not try to gag beneficiaries and attaches of this government. Shouldn't try to gag citizens from speaking their mind. In any case, you people are being fed, fueled, entertained, housed by the taxpayers' money. And we feel, and when taxpayers feel there's something wrong, you want to gag taxpayers from speaking their minds. It would never happen in this country. Then you will arrest everybody in this country, because we will continue to speak out, we will continue to expose your ills, the ills in this administration. Let us stop gagging and reduce the arrogance of power and those things by inviting security personnel to invite. Since when did we start calling on security personnel to invite panel members on a discussion to bring evidence? When NPP was in power for 8 years, what didn't you say? Did anybody call on security agencies on live TV to come and invite you or arrest you? Let us stop, exhibiting that kind of arrogance when we get opportunity to speak. It is unacceptable. It is undemocratic. Ghana hasn't been willed or sold to you. The fact that you have won elections doesn't mean that you are better than anybody. That you are at liberty to criticize President Akufo-Addo, call President Akufo-Addo names, call Dr. Bawumia names, call the leadership of NPP names, and when NPP is raising legitimate questions and asking critical questions, you call on security agencies to invite them to bring evidence. Did you produce any evidence when you were saying that President Akufo-Addo and his appointees were actively involved in galamsey? Did anybody invite you?
Okay.
Please.
Let's
not get into those discussions at all.
Let's make progress. Let's talk about Tor now. They said to introduce to.
But the 1 minute is up. The 1 minute is up.
Please, it's not your duty to allocate time. It's not No, you can't allocate yourself the duty. 1 minute to allocate time.
You're just doing 1 minute.
No, you have to tell him that is not his duty. It's not his duty to allocate time. Why? Since when did I prime invite you as the
Please, you still not make.
Now, on the matter of Tor.
Yeah.
On the matter of
this is a very serious issue.
It's a very serious issue. Yes. Yeah. On the matter of Tor, I am happy that Tor has decided to roll out their 24-hour policy or program. Or, in fact, you realize that the institutions, the various institutions themselves, have the zeal to roll out their 24-hour economy.
I think I mentioned it this morning as well.
But the government itself, look at the larger picture, the government itself hasn't yet rolled out their 24. Yeah, President Mahama mentioned during his State of the Nations address, and in fact, it was also repeated in the budget that they were yet to put the policy paper and all. I hear Dr. Gusi Tando or somebody is the one in charge. And I saw that he engaged Parliament, before they went on recess. And so, generally, if they are able to do the 24-hour economy, I feel that it will help. It will help, and I am happy that the Tor that under President Akufo-Addo claimed, members of the opposition then claimed that Tor was collapsing under President Akufo-Addo. I am glad that within 3 months that they are telling us that we shouldn't call on them to stop galamsey and stop cocaine trafficking within 3 months. They are telling us that now within 3 months, Tor, has been revived.
They made a revenue of 2.9
and now they've made a revenue of 2.9 billion.
The highest last week.
And now they want to roll out the 24-hour economy. If Tor is able to, if we are able to revive Tor, if this government has been able to revive Tor within the last 3 months, then this government should be able to fight galamsey. Within the last, nobody should say that it is too early. Nobody should. You see, the argument of it is too early, it is too late, it doesn't hold anything. Government you can use just 1 day to change the face of everything in governance.
So just as they have done for Tor.
Just as they have done for Tor, they should do the same with galamsey. That's not what we are calling for. We all want galamsey to be solved.
Okay.
Your time is up. That's a land.
Your time is up.
No, today I will not engage the banter with you.
But you're not. Yes, but because you're not.
If my time is up,
we're on Tor, and I think you've made your point.
If my time is up, that's fine. Today I will not engage in the banter with you.
And I like that.
In fact, I watched the time. I spoke for 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
So you are done.
Yeah,
right, very well. Richard, let me move on to Richard.
Oh my God.
Kwesi's been very disciplined this morning. I think I like
I've always been disciplined. I'm not like the others who exhibit
not the other time.
I'm always disciplined.
You okay,
Richard?
Just a quick one. But then a man tested and he was talking about the Afafranto, the butterfly, the least given attention, the better. I just want to make them aware that we are building a nation collectively. So everybody matters in contributing to national development.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
So they shouldn't just be sitting behind their television set and be testing unnecessarily. I will not countenance some of these things. Now, going forward, Tor is a strategic subsector of the Ghanaian economy.
Yeah.
You see, Kwame Nkrumah is a visionary. He had a foresight. He knew very well that this country will expand, it will grow. And oil is the engine of growth across the globe. Why is America engaging in some unnecessary wars at certain places across the Gulf? Sometimes they go in there with their personal interest because they need the crude, they need the oil. Nkrumah, not even discovering oil in Ghana, established Tor. Tor was established as far back as 1960. They started their first refinery from 1963. Now, Tor, when it was being established, had all the capacity to at least the storage, from processing to distribution to everything. Tor had the capacity from its very inception. But because of our lackadaisical attitude towards developing one subsector of the Ghanaian economy that we can boast of it and see it as our cash cow, that bring us sufficient revenue to develop other sectors, we are not able to do that. And political interference always comes into looking at the low-hanging fruit and see where they can make some money from. So governments have come, governments have gone. TOR has always been performing under capacity. Now, TOR needs a lot of retrofitting. They need to at least improve on their machinery. They need to improve on certain things in order to deliver. A new government has taken over. They want to introduce a 3-shift system. Yeah. But I want to believe that before NDC came to power, TOR, at segments of the TOR refinery has always been working 24 hours. I don't believe that TOR workers only go to work 8 in the morning and by 5 they've closed. TOR has always been operational, but at the very minimum,
departments obviously
some departments have been running. Yeah. So now their 24-hour economy policy is looking at the gantry where the discharge of the finished product is made. That is the angle they want to look at, because you see, they believe that the more we produce, the more we're able to distribute, the better it is for us. Yes, I want to believe that the new MD made mention the last time that they need about $25 million to inject into the operations of TOR in order to make it much more better. So I only want to appeal to government that they should look at that aspect rather than just trying to implement a 24-hour economy or implement a 24-hour schedule to making us believe that a 24-hour economy that they want to introduce, they have actually activated it. Because if you don't invest more into the TOR and you have introduced a 24-hour economy, what really would it solve? Would it solve the underperformance of TOR? Would it increase the productivity of TOR? Would it increase the efficiency of TOR? What are the key things that we intend to resolve by introducing the 24-hour economy? Okay. All I want to suggest is that we should prioritize how we can really augment TOR, where we can inject more capital. Because like I said, governments have come, governments have gone. There hasn't been any deliberate approach to making TOR becoming a cash cow for us. So if the NDC government really wants to do so, then the 25 million the MD is even talking about, they should look at even increasing it and bringing partners from across the globe. The Gulf people are there, the Asian tigers are there. They should bring them on board for us to do what we call strategic partnership. So that at the end of the day, raising that $2 million or $25 million should not be a sole responsibility of what? Of government. We should go into strategic partnership so that we can have TOR becoming a major production hub or a refinery hub where we can use it to create sufficient jobs, produce more, refine more, and then be able to distribute to the Ghanaian market, because the demand for petroleum products in Ghana is so high. And we are always importing refined or finished products where we can really just augment TOR, properly support TOR, for TOR to operate. I don't know what the problems are, but if it is just a matter of, and then recently he came to mention that they have made a profit of $2.9 million. Yeah. I wish you would provide us with further and better particulars as to how they arrive at that $2.9 million profit. He's talking about just 1 month. And if TOR admittedly can make $2.9 million profit in a month, then TOR can solve our problems. So what is stopping us from really zeroing in onto TOR and seeing it as a catalyst for development? So I want to urge this government to really zero in and support TOR for TOR to become more effective and productive.
Thank you very much, Richard. You have the last one.
I'm starting my stopwatch. Yes, right.
It's 5 minutes.
Yes, so after so
how many minutes did you give?
Now you see,
it's the same 5 minutes that
you see, there's a difference between top 10 policies and my first 120 days contract. This reminds me of my senior who says, "Enublofu." You see, when you asked me, I told you the top 10 policies. I didn't say that what this banning is not part of the first one. I said it's not part of the first top 10 policies. So in conclusion, look, my brother here is just trying to, is on the path of Onublofu. because it was simple English I was speaking.
You can decide to attack me. No, you see the personal attack.
It's as simple as that. My brother, you guys are there to judge. Ask him to be disciplined. Ask him to be disciplined. You should rather be disciplined. Attacking them when you had time at discipline. He had time. No, discipline. No, you should have time. You should call it to order. No, you should call it to order. No, I didn't insult you.
I needed to stop so I can address it. So can you stop so I can address it?
It's a simple as that. You had your time. That's what I'm calculating.
No, I disagree. No, I disagree with that. No, Gideon.
About
if probably didn't hear you right, that's a different conversation. But it's not about English. Let's not
No. I had my time. Allow me to speak.
No, I'm allowing you, but there are certain things I would not want to do. No, let's not go there.
Maybe
he didn't get you.
I said top 10.
But that's different.
And you are based on that.
It's different.
Oh, but that's fine. But that's
no, I don't want this to
because he was trying to tell me that what I said was wrong. I said I gave difference. I said the top 10.
Yes, so clarify it without mentioning that he doesn't understand.
I'm only repeating what I'm just saying that my senior you will say Onu Blofo. That's what I'm saying. Onu Blofo on a letter note. And that's what I'm saying. That look. So I mentioned the top 10, but I've never said that it's not part of the first 120 days contract. And I'm telling you, look, galamsey, the fact that this galamsey, as we all know, cannot be a one-off thing. So obviously, looking at the steps we have taken in this even forest reserve issue, but are we not talking about amending or changing, amending or repealing at all, just to make sure.
I think his concern has been the speed at which,
my brother,
because of the nature of the issue.
Look, if there's no speed, we will not be talking about. I will not have told you the steps we have taken so far, and I'm telling you that. We cannot discuss all our strategies here, but that strategy, the next phase of our strategy will be very ruthless. Look, on the issue of the 24-hour economy, the 24-hour economy in our campaign, it was all about jobs, and jobs. Because we know that unemployment rate keeps growing. Every day, people graduate from school, and all that, they are looking for jobs, and it's unfortunate. And so the major focus of the 24-hour economy was to create more jobs, right? And we know that once you create more jobs, it means that your economy is growing. When there's money in the pockets of people, you know that everybody will benefit. Because me alone, once I'm even paid, or there's money in my pocket, right? It means that if I have a family of maybe 50 or 100, you can imagine, everybody benefits. Then it goes that way. So that is why so this 24-hour economy is part of our policies. It is good news that indeed TOR has, achieved such, revenue in the first 3 months. And we believe that if TOR is supported, they will even perform better than now. And so kudos to TOR, and it's also a testament that indeed we are serious about implementing the 24-hour economy. Don't forget that this 24-hour economy, this 24-hour, agenda will mean that we will require more hands on deck. It also means that a lot of people are going to get jobs. Because obviously, one person cannot do all the 3 shifts. So you can imagine the jobs that are going to create. And so it's good news. Definitely, other institutions will follow suit, and then by the time our tenure is over, unemployment rate would have reduced drastically.
Okay, all right. For the benefit of our viewers and the purposes of our conversation, let's take a look at the MD, Dr. Sulemana, and he addresses some of the issues that has to do with TOR and the 24-hour system. When I come back from that, I'm going to be reading some of your messages on Facebook, and then we'll wrap up for this morning news flash.
For the core business, we are to monetize the storage capability. Just multiply 800,000 by 5. That's in nominal terms. You can imagine that's about 4 million. But of course, not all these tanks are available. Now, when you come to the loading gantry also, that is where we had most of the revenue coming in. And what we simply did was that myself and my team, we went through the whole chain. We look at where wastages are, where the time is being spent so much. We had meeting with the customs, we had meeting with the national security, we had meeting with the delivery, all the chain, even to the loading gantry. We tell them, this is very important. Every single second spent in wasting time
is money loss.
It's money loss. And I think it yielded a lot of results. So, but though it is saying that commerce division, but I can tell you that especially security. They were at the forefront, especially when we need to load extended period of hours. We can talk about even our regulator. We need to load up to 5:30. NPA had consistently been very cooperative. They have been able to extend the time up to 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Oh, yes.
So the possibility to even do 24 hours.
Oh, yes. So
we
have even sent letter to the MDR. My good friend, the CEO there, is very welcoming that we can even try the shift system. So now we can do up to 10. We only need 2 hours to make it 12 and run the shift system.
Right.
And so that is what has happened. That is what has changed. I can tell you that Tor has almost...
All right, so that was Dr. Yusuf Suleimana speaking to Elton Brobe on the Pulse. He's the managing director for Tor. He took over from Kofi Tego, who was last administration, was in charge during the last administration. So that's what it is. But let's take a couple of messages on what Facebook, some of your messages that you've sent to us on Facebook. We'll take a look at them quickly, and then we'll wrap up for today. This one over here says that Pedro Wah, he says, watching you live and clear inside Indianapolis, Kumasi Tunnels, Keswin Junction X, the main location, and that's from Pedro Wah, Maldina. And this one says, Yunaz Dadzi says, good morning. It's funny how the NPP wants to see complete solutions to the mess they created in their 8 years in government. As he read their own Professor from Boateng's report on how their presidency was engaged in galamsey, was Akufo-Addo not clearing his people who were engaged in galamsey and other crimes. The new government is barely 3 months, and what is the NPP rep saying? They should give us a break. And Yunus in Asen South sent in that. Let me go to this one over here. It says, Smile Child says, I hate this. Oh, no, I'm not going to read it. Oh, you don't have to insult anybody here. Dismiss the CJ, remove Jen Mensah, and Ghana would have more peace. MK Yadam says, Mahama said he will use AI to fight for galamsey if elected. Now he's the president of Ghana. My question is that what's he waiting for, or still in the honeymoon? And he says government should stop the importation of those machines because they are now a nuisance in Ghana. And he comes back again and says the EC should pay the officials they engaged in the just ended presidential and parliamentary elections. And he comes back and says again that arrest and prosecute all officials of EPHA immediately. The port officials knows how those containers left the port premises. And Hamza Mohammed says, Alaji from Pig Family says, good morning, my brother. My brother, did I hear the NPP guy in the studio calling the coastal guards as Adidas disco dancers? Just about 3 weeks ago, the NPP held a press conference to tell Ghanaians that they started the coastal guards to fight galamsey in this country first. So they should be applauded for that, and not to give credit to the NDC government. Tell the guy in your studio that he cannot use President Mahama to make himself popular and relevant. He keeps on talking about 120 days promise. The NDC in power for only 3 months, meaning we are in power for only 90 days. These people should give us a break. NPP as a political party has no any moral right to talk about galamsey in this country. We know what NPP did to the good people of this country when it comes to the fight against galamsey. NPP as a political party are the enemies of progress of this country, and they have nothing to offer the good people of this country. Hamza in PIFAM. This NPP guy is leaving his own Ghana as they were leaving when they were in power, and wasn't ready to listen to anybody except themselves. If you allege anything has happened and you cannot prove it because you're doing politics, we can assure them that any allegations that they will make, they'll be held accountable to provide evidence. The NPP guy said that there was a government Land Cruiser executing excavator to a mining site, and he must prove that. If that is his beef, and he should advise himself. Okay. Kwesi Botchwey says that the challenges faced by the NDC-led Mahama administration in combating galamsey are clear. That this development is not surprising, given that several leaders made promises to supporters to permit galamsey activities in exchange for votes. Consequently, the issue has become unmanageable, and even among party members. Instead of harnessing AI to aid in the fight against galamsey, AI has been utilized to expose John Mahama's incompetence. Moreover, has Ghana become a hub for cocaine and money laundering? There's a big question mark over there, as that's the outcome we voted for. The future is indeed uncertain. And that's Kwesi Botchwey who sent in that. Pretty much that would be all the messages for this morning. If I'm correct. Okay, so that'll be all for this morning. Let me say a big thank you to my guests for showing up here on the show today.
Are we going to have a final word?
No, which final word again? We don't have time. Well, it's 8 o'clock already. Okay, Kwesi, quick one. 30 seconds.
All what I have to say is that I am very well mannered and well brought up, and so I would not come on live TV and cast, insinuations against my co-panel members or, panelists. But you see, the issue remains. It remains the same. That galamsey is ongoing. Government attaches and cronies and beneficiaries can decide to be very arrogant and pretend as if they do not see what is happening. They can decide to do that, and they are free to do that. The good people of this country are watching. NPP, we have been in this position before. The arrogance they are exhibiting today, some of our colleagues exhibited the same thing, and today we have, seen our smoothness level. They can continue to exhibit the same kind of arrogance. They say, speak anyhow, call their colleagues' names, and those things. They are free to do that. But I would not descend into the gutters to, engage in such politics. I am above that kind of politics. But the issue remains that the president lacks the will to fight galamsey. Ghana is now becoming a cocaine coast, a cocaine hub. You have suspicious flights of coming in here. The government must be willing to investigate those flights. The good people of this country are in fact, the president himself has called for an investigation. And so what is the challenge and what is the issue with Honorable Ofosu Kwakye? I think that they should allow an investigation into the cocaine matter. Everybody is concerned. Everybody wants to know the truth of the matter. So they should just open up. Let me just say, as a land, let me just say a happy belated birthday to my very own boss. I think he's on the show later today. The Honorable Kojo Apoko. He had his birthday over the weekend. Let me say a very special birthday to him. I know he's watching us.
Yes, he's joining us this morning. Rosalind Felly has got that conversation coming up. You don't want to miss it. Richard?
Well, I just want to conclude by saying we have a nation to build collectively. Sometimes we make it look like if it is not us, then it must not be nobody else. And if you have a president that has been given a 4-year mandate, obviously, we cannot just start to go after him immediately. When you do so, you are not giving him a free mind to really reason and solve the country's problem. So I only want to appeal to the people of God and country that we should not be tempted by the activities of the new patriotic party that suggest that John Dramani Mahama has absolutely failed within these few days that we've given him the opportunity to lead. Let us have sufficient patience for him. If we get to a certain threshold of his leadership in terms of at least 1 year and we still not see any significant improvement, then we can measure. But it is too early days, and we should all collectively come together to build a country that we can bequeath to posterity, and they will build upon it from where we will leave it. That's all I can say.
Many thanks, Richard Suma, leading member for Movement for Change.
Well, as the Obamas will say, when you go low, we will go high. And so I will not be shadowed by the shenanigans comments from my opponents at all. I'm not bothered by the non-stop pestilence at all. But what I want to tell Ghanaians is that we will not disappoint them. The confidence they had in us to give us that overwhelming vote and kick the NPP into the bush is the same energy we would use to deliver. And as I said today, whether you like it or not, now when you do Momo, e-levy is no more. You can imagine. Now you can send us high amount of money you can send, and there's nothing like e-levy. And you know what it means? It means that now you and I, 2 million Ghana cedi is in the hands of Ghanaians in total because of the abolishment of e-levy. And that's a big deal. And today I can tell you that because of that, today over 17,000 Momo businesses that were collapsed will now revive because now there's nothing like e-levy. That is a serious government. And that's the same way we will treat this galamsey. And so Ghanaians should be rest assured that we'll deliver.
Very well. Thank you very much. And let me say, this one, a belated birthday, and it's a happy belated birthday to Sister Letitia Afo. May the Almighty God bless you in your new age with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, good health, and more money. And He's giving you Numbers 6:24-26. Says, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. And that's from your child, Rashidatu. And it's going out to you, Madam Letitia. For yesterday was your birthday, and yesterday, Kobe was your birthday as well. Kobe of Smartest Production was your birthday as well. Happy 50th to you.